Y'all know what it is. It's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has the missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping $ usual 50/50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20 with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Y'all know what it is. It's the usual suspect 650-50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $ usual 50/50. Tickets are on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be set. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshitting on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Push the weight and now flex. Flex alive is more than the 6. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
They're trying to deny Shakur and Zaquin getting into the event.
I'm still trying to make it, man. Fuck that shit, right? Good job, baby. Inteligente.
Derek, can you talk to us just about the fight, what you think? What you think about the fight, the outcome, Ryan's performance?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Oh. It's time to bleed this morning. It is time to bleed. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And good morning. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give an education to the uneducated. So if you're young, dumb, and it's a possibility, you ain't necessarily got to be young. You could be dumb. You know, you can tell when you talk to a person. There's an old saying, you can tell a fool by his words. Yeah. It seems to happen a lot. But this is going to hurt some feelings. And if it hurts your feelings, I'm definitely talking to you. Definitely talking to you. Absolutely talking to you. You see, the things we're talking about here It involves boxing, but it goes beyond boxing. And when I see you coloreds, saying ridiculous things like, I don't care about all of that. You're looking too deep into this. It's y'all with this. You are the type of colored I'm talking about. To act like these things aren't real, if you just close your eyes and say nothing and just focus on the sport, you're part of the issue, and nothing will change. And you will go on to believe that it has nothing to do with you. And what happens is fanatics like you, later on, you lose interest in it. And when you go on to the next thing to distract you, we're still left, the real supporters of the sport of boxing, we're still left to deal with it. And you were just in and out. Like you and your baby mama, you was in and out. Didn't marry the smut, you was just in and out. But you know what happens? You leave a bastard child for the public to take care of, the public to raise, the police to deal with in the street, the government to take care of. Well, you lost interest and went on to do something else. We are left holding the bag. But while you was in it, you contributed to the sport getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I love the sport. You should have loved your child. I love the sport. You love the fighter. When that fighter decides to retire, for whatever reason, you leave. Meanwhile, the fighter that you supported messed everything up. You got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, these fighters are only going to be around for a blink of an eye. Boxing been around for hundreds of years. Well, not 100, about a little over 100 years, but a little longer than that. Fighters come, fighters go. A fighter's career really lasts about maybe 15 years, if that. Blink of an eye. Blink of an eye. And we let these fools come in here and think that they're bigger than the sport. Believe it or not, they're not the problem. It's their support system that's the problem. So if we did a better job at stopping them at the door and calling them out on their nonsense, we'd be better off. If we started checking IDs at the door, at the club, and not letting these fools in, we'd be better off. And this is why we have disarray right now. Y'all know what it's like to go to a social event, and then you see that group of 3 or 4 people. It's like, who the hell let them in? Everybody's in there with button-ups and slacks and shoes, and you got 4 dudes over there with weird haircuts and Timberlands on. The English is bad. They got gold in their mouth, tattoos on their face. You're like, who the hell let them in? Wait. How'd they get in? That type of ish. So let's do this roll call. Let's get to the business. Todd Swindle, Anwar Willis, G. McCall, Rick Blackwell, Dal Anderson, the Sensei, Stormy B-Man. Don't miss us tonight, Nerds on Culture. We're talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What's in store? It's coming up next and what we hope to see. Absolutely, don't miss us tonight. True Boxing Night in the building. Tony C, Spiritually Biased, Rod Neal, Dow Big G, Mr. Shelton, Copper Aborigines, Real Spill in the building, Trade 50, Chilltown Majors, Big Joe Townsend, Stephen X, Jermaine Callahan, Mo Boxing. Where you been, good brother? Good to see you. Michael Fleming, the final boss. Salute, brother. Luca in the building. Snoop, what up, Snoop? Adrian Vett, Derek Gaines, the legend. Salute. You and Ack was cooking. I was in and out the chat. You and Ack was cooking. and salute to Stay Ready, Mac. Mind of Monster Musa, salute, brother. Michael Ray. Adewale M. Real Spill Midwest Boxing in that super chat early. He says YouTube runs crazy ass during your streams, bro. Gotta be a law against that. Long story, man. Long story. I don't want to get into it. Long story. I rock, my brother, man. I gotta give you a shout today, man. I've been like, when I get off this internet, I've been running like crazy. I got a lot of going on, but yo, I gotta shout you out today, and I need an update. Yes, sir. Salute, brother. My brother, there he is. Jab Jamboree, Act Reach in the building. Salute. Ness Man, Mo G, Jeremiah, what up, man? JC Storyteller, y'all go subscribe to JC, man. Yo, those stories he got. Woo-wee! Honey Badger. Yes, sir. Go subscribe to my brother right there. Xavier, what up? Joe, what up, Joe? Salute, Coach Hudson in the building. My brother, go subscribe to Coach Hudson. Yes, sir. Cooking. Andrew 100, what's going on? All right, let's get it, man. Smash the like button, like and share the video. We are our own algorithm. YouTube will run ads on my channels, but they won't share the video though. So y'all go subscribe to the Painful Excellence podcast. Y'all go. I got a third channel too. Y'all go subscribe to Bear Cave Entertainment. Anything I put up, you like, you share. Y'all go subscribe to my my Patreon. Salute. Let's get to the topic. Kel Too Slimy, salute. If I missed you in the chat, know that I love you. Situation awareness. Do y'all know what that is? It's okay if you don't. Situation awareness. I'll read the Google definition. It's the ability to be aware. It's the ability to be aware of and understand your surroundings, including potential hazards and threats. It involves perceiving, understanding, and responding effectively to your environment. This can be done by identifying potential risks, making informed decisions, and reacting appropriately to reacting appropriately to changing situations. What does this have to do with Shakur? Give me an example. When it says being able to identify potential risks, making informed decisions, and reacting to appropriately to change situations, it took him a minute, but didn't he get rid of Jay Prince and went to Luther Bella? Didn't he do that? When he went pro, after this hissy fit he threw at the Olympics, when he got a silver medal, when he went to Top Rank, I couldn't have been the only person confused, right? We was like, wait a minute, why are you going, what? And everyone asked him. They said, hey, man, we could have swore he was going over to TMT. And y'all remember what he said? It seems like a lot of talk over there, Oh, so you went to Bob Arum, okay. So Floyd Mayweather was talking tough, and you went to Bob Arum. Gerard, Harlem in the building. He was like, wait a minute, you, okay, man. You must know something I don't. You must know something I don't. Hey, man. All right. Let's go. Situation awareness. So he's on Top Rank. And thought it was smooth. And later on down the road, Shakur's a hell of a fighter. Shakur's a hell of a fighter, man. You never heard me call him boring, right? Never heard me call him boring. In fact, when Cass got on here and started calling him boring and everything else, I said, yo, y'all don't like his style, man. Put him in the ring with somebody who'll beat him. Right? Key of Life, what up? Remember when I said, yo, just, all right, here we go again. Another black fighter, quote unquote. They told me he run. Cool. So I'm going to stick to, they stick to their guns, I'm going to stick to mine. You don't like what Shakur does in the ring, put him in the ring with somebody that'll beat him. Remember that? And they've yet to do it. They've yet to do it. Good morning, Jackie. I'll talk about Keyshawn when it's time for me to talk about Keyshawn. What you need to do, young man, it's Monday, there's school today, so I don't know why you're on my channel, but sit back. I'm giving an education because you're part of the issues I'm talking about here. So don't try and take the class into a different direction. Sit down. You're late. All right, that's number one. Sit down. Freedom's March, salute. Sit down, pay attention, and learn something. Oh, yeah, I got a whole show dedicated to him, probably tomorrow, Mr. Shelton. On that coon. That bug-eyed freak. That coon. That knuckle dragger. All right, I'll save that for tomorrow. So anyway, so this kid, I was the one saying, hey man, put him in the ring with someone that'll contradict the style. They put him in the ring with what's his name, the cheetah that has a statue in Mexico. He popped dirty. Then he blamed what? Brisk iced tea or whatever the hell he said. He said, I was on tea. No, you was on TRT. Stop lying, bro. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why are you lying? K-Rod, salute. Yeah, Valpeds. Oscar Valpeds. Why are you lying, bro? Got in the ring with Shakur, and Shakur made him look like he never fought a day in his life. Dude got a whole statue in Mexico. Then gets in the ring with Navarrete. I don't know what that was. Navarrete done whooped his ass all over the ring. We haven't seen him since. We haven't seen him since. There you go. I supported Shakur. He's just an idiot. He's just an idiot. I'll run it down. Mind of Monster Musa in that super chat, much love. He says Stevenson crowned, but the baby sleep, man. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, my damn wire. Yeah. Man, biker, salute. Let's run it down. Shakur, he had a misfortune at a gas station in Jersey. Got into it with pretty much a woman. Got into it with a woman. Y'all remember that? Edgar Chavez supporting Strong in the Strong House, man. Salute to you, man. Salute Drew, salute OG and the chat and everyone else. Peace, man, bro. I appreciate you, good brother. Much love and appreciation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all remember when he went to Jersey? Got into it with some chick and her man. And it was him, and he punched Shorty or whatever the hell. Jeff Sparks, salute. He punched Shorty. His profile that punched that girl. Right? got arrested, had a mugshot. And one evening, I'm listening to Barbershop Conversation, and we in the chat, and someone said, yo, y'all been to Box Rec? They took Shakur's they took Shakur's mugshot and put it up on Box Rec. I said, what? So I pulled up another window and I went to Box Rec and I said, yo, that wasn't the picture. And I said, oh shit, that's his mugshot. I don't know who was there for that. I was there. Bob, salute. I was there. Kawhi, what up? I was like, yo. So back then, you know, BoxRec used to be like Wikipedia. You could add information or correct certain things or whatever. So, somebody went in there and put it back to the Olympic picture when he's smiling. Right? Later on during the live, somebody put it back to the mugshot. I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. So people took to Twitter with it. People started emailing BoxRec in abundance. The community did that. LDBC, Fred, Champside, and Lord knows who else. We made a move that night. We was writing emails. A couple of days later, well, I don't know how long it took. Maybe a week later. I don't remember. But they changed it to whatever. Right? They changed it back to a regular picture of him, and they changed the way that you can put information on BoxRec. You can no longer do things like change the picture. Oh yeah, Copper, there is no Kovalev mugshot to change, because that's the first thing I did. I said, let me put Kovalev's mugshot up on his BoxRec. I couldn't find it. Kovalev has no mugshot. He's been arrested like 3 times. Beating that woman, DUI, escorted off a plane. He's been arrested like 3 times. He don't have a mugshot. Ryan Garcia doesn't have a mugshot. And he's been arrested. There's no mugshot. Strange, right? Yeah. But who's paying attention though, right? Situation awareness. Now, I don't know if Shakur even knows that the community, because I doubt white folk came to this dude's aid. Watch this, y'all. I doubt Latinos came to his aid. Dill Spoolie, what up? I doubt Latinos came to his aid. Yeah, I said it, because that's the next place I'm going. You take your ass to Top Rank. I'm not saying you should have went to Floyd Mayweather. He a snake in the grass too. But you took your ass to Top Rank, right? You had this little misfortune with you giving a chick a tiger uppercut in a gas station in Jersey somewhere. You get arrested. They drag your name. They put your mugshot on BoxRec. We caught it. It was changed. The community caught it. It was changed. I don't even know if you know about that, right? You get on Top Rank, and a year and some change later, you're Puerto Rican. Okay. Now, I was told his daddy is Puerto Rican. I was told his name. I said, okay. Here was my issue. I don't give a damn if you're a half-breed. I don't care. My question was, why wasn't you waving that flag in the damn Olympics in support and love for your passed-on father? I don't even know if he's passed, to be honest with you. But I just said, why are you waving that flag now? Where was this flag in the Olympics, man? Where was this flag in the Olympics? Do you know why I asked that question? I asked that question because it was very convenient. They started talking about him being boring and him being pillow-fisted, not a knockout artist, and all this other stuff. He says, oh, wait a minute. My daddy Puerto Rican. Now he considered himself a Latin fighter, right? A Latin fighter, and you're on Top Rank, whom notoriously does not promote black fighters properly. Notoriously. And if you had a problem with all of that, Bud didn't tell you what it was when you came over there? He didn't tell you? Tay, good morning. Jeremiah, salute. Brothers UK in the building, salute. You ain't so now you waving the flag. And that's when I said, wait a minute. That sounds like a marketing scheme to me. That sounds like a marketing scheme to me. Didn't Jamel Charlo tell us skills pay the bills? So why didn't you tell us earlier that your dad was Boricua? Your dad being Boricua is not the problem. The problem is not you, Shakur. The problem is the audience. You're not the problem. I've never seen this kid get caught clean. This kid is a master boxer. So if you're a master boxer and skills pay the bills, why do you feel the need to wave the Puerto Rican flag while on Top Rank? It was a play. That's what it was. And that's when I said, man, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to play in the Latino's face like that. You ain't got to play like that. Don't play like that. The problem isn't your ethnicity. The problem isn't your daddy. The problem isn't the Puerto Rican flag. The problem is you was trying to tap into a market. And that's when I said, man, I wonder if Bob Arum told him to do that. Look, kid, you're boring. We got to do something to promote you. Hell, my dad's Puerto Rican. Okay, let's go with that. Dude, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why? Brandon, what up? Shower, salute my queen. PGH, what up? Why would you do that? I'll tell you why you did that. Marketing. And that's when I got offended. I said, wait a minute. The black dollar ain't good enough? Us talking you up is not good enough? Said, what up? It's not good enough. But take a step back for a minute. I just told you what the black boxing community did for this kid. And I don't know who the hell put his mugshot on BoxRec. I'm going to assume it wasn't a black person. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to assume that. Because niggas is haters. I know we mobilized. Jackie, that's why I say you got to shut up and listen. Shut up and listen. You're late. Like how your mama told your daddy, I'm late. Boom, here you are 15 years later. I'm trying to educate here. You were not here for all of this. You didn't know anything that I'm talking about. Be quiet and listen. This is not about his ethnicity. He made it about his ethnicity. Support is support. If you're nice in the ring, you're nice in the ring. You disqualify yourself when you start behaving in a ridiculous manner, which is what this kid has done. Everything he did, we had his back for. Yeah, salute, Queen. When he's punching on women in the gas station, we couldn't we couldn't justify that. We was like, whoa, hold on, man. There's nothing we could do. We said, all right, the kid made a mistake. He's young. That's all we could say. Hey, man, he's young. He made a mistake. He's not in control of his emotions. You know how I know he's not in control with his emotions? All right. A father trains his boys not to hit women. A father does that. A mama could tell you not to. But a father will train his sons not to do that. You don't hit women. Anybody knows who Chris Brown's father is? Anybody? I don't know if the man's alive or dead, but I'm willing to suspect that he did not teach him to beat on women. He was in the car or wherever he was with Rihanna, and they started bickering back and forth. And by the way, I heard through the grapevine, I know someone who knows someone that did security for them. He said, man, that's just the first fight they had that blew up like that. They were always roughing each other up. And he finally went upside her head, and then pictures was leaked, and all of a sudden he's a woman beater. But any man with control, once the woman starts flapping her gums and talking about all kinds of stuff and digging at you, you stare at her, you smile, you do a 180-degree turn, and you walk away. And you leave her screaming and hollering there by herself. And you don't deal with that. Our only defense for Shakur's dumbass for punching that girl in the back of the head was he's young. He has no control of his emotions. But still. Yeah, exactly, Shawa. It was a mess. I'll talk to you behind the scenes about what I heard. Nostradamus Ellaby, salute. That whole thing was toxic. But he reacts, boom. He's all over the news. You see, real men are in control of their situations. Real men have situation awareness. I've been in situations where shorty, she got one time to blow up at me and the hair start waving and the neck start popping and we in public. You got one time to motherfucker me in public for everyone to hear. Oh, really? Check, please. I'll drop 100 on the table. Be like, yo, I'm out. Wow, where you going? Away from you. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You got it. You that chick. You that strong, independent. You don't need. No. Not with that attitude. No. Have a good day. And don't call me no more. Situation awareness. You don't deal with it. A woman that's getting her ass kicked by a dude. What do you normally find out? Swollen eye, swollen lip, heels up, swollen eye, swollen lip. You're like, wait a minute. Who's doing this? Your boyfriend? Okay. 2 years later, why are you still there? I love him. But I didn't know he was this toxic. I didn't know he did things like this. Wait a minute. You talk about everyone around her? It could be even you. You know what you know? Oh, she didn't know that nigga was crazy? She didn't know? I told y'all the story about the shorty that I know. Personally, I go to Pep Talk. Matter of fact, the situation that happened around my way, the story's on YouTube. I know the girl and I know the dude involved. And I ain't gonna get too deep into it. Philip D, salute. I ain't gonna get too deep into it. I'm just gonna tell you the quick story and we're gonna move on. She was dating this dude. Dude was a notorious lush, meaning he was drunk all hours of the day. 11 a.m. in the morning, he drunk in the street. But I guess he was cute to her, right? I knew another woman that dated him, and he was beating her ass. She left him. He started dating another woman that I know. Shorty told the other shorty, look, get away from him, he's crazy. You know what she told him? As a matter of fact, she told him in the courthouse when she was getting an order of protection fulfilled, some crap. Right? Told him, get away from him. He's nuts. You know what she said to her? You just mad because you ain't got him no more. Okay, fine. They made a baby. A couple years later, made a baby. Guess what happened? Was whooping her ass. She got to order protection against him. He goes to the house. For some reason, lets him in, storms past her, goes in the room with the baby, closes the door. She calls the police. She wouldn't let him in. He wouldn't let him in. Let her into the bedroom. Called the police. Police came there. Where's your son at? He said, I told her if I can't see my son, no one can see my son. He threw the baby out the window, y'all. Here's my right hand of God. That happened. I know all the parties involved. Threw the baby out the window. Okay? That happened. Made the news and everything. I went to work that morning. They was like, yo, what's going on around your way? I said, what? Turned on the news. I saw it. I said, yo. And then I saw her getting into the car crying. I said, yo, that's well, I ain't gonna say her name. Well, fuck it. I say her name. Her name is Kerry. It was the worst thing I ever seen in my life. Was public knowledge, so I'll say her name. I was like, what the fuck? Oh my God, it was crazy. I talked to my other homegirl. She was like, I told you. I did not tell you. I told. I was like, I know. And you know what? It was sad. The baby's dead. I think like she lived like on the 18th floor or something. And it was sad. But you know what everyone around the way said? How could she not know that nigga was crazy? We all grew up in the same area. We all know the same people. How do you not know he was crazy? We all grew up together. How do you not know he was crazy? Everyone knew. Except you. So it's a sad situation, but everyone's looking at her like, yo, bitch, god damn, man. How the fuck did he get in? Why'd you let him in? Situation awareness. Some of you brothers get blindsided by today BBLs. BBD made a song, Never Trust a Big Butt and a Smile. That girl is poison. There's a message in that song. You ever listen to the lyrics of Poison? He said me and the crew used to do her. They were talking about a freak. But she's poison. Listen to the words of the song. Everyone dances. You play Poison right now. White people ban. Oh my God, it's BBD. It's Poison. 30 years later. That song is a classic. But listen to the words. Situation awareness. He said me and the crew used to do her. Poison. Are you paying attention? You paying attention? The Beatles made a song about a murderer, and you will never know because the song sounds so happy. The chorus is bang bang bang. I forgot the name of the song, but if you listen to the words of the song, I sat down, was listening to it, I said, "What the fuck? You're talking about a murderer." The Beatles, they made this, I forgot the name of the song. Wait a minute. It's bothering me now. Beatles song about a murderer. Maxwell Silverhammer. That's the name of the song. That Maxwell Silverhammer. That's the name of the song. It's by the Beatles. It's a song about a student named Maxwell Edison who commits murders with a silver hammer. And if you hear the damn song, you will never know because it sounds like a happy song. I was like, oh shit. And I talked to my pops, said, you heard this song, Maxwell? He said, yeah, it's a song about a murderer. I said, yo, Kamara, what up? Steve L, my brother, salute. Situation awareness. So Kerry didn't know. Well, she, you know what it was, man? And listen, I'm not talking about Kerry. in a negative light. I'm telling y'all a situation that happened. And when that happened, the whole hood was like, hey, yo, that's fucked up, but yo, how does she not know? No, she knew. She ignored it. She ignored it. And it's sad. It's sad. How did Shakur not know what kind of time Top Rank was on? What, did you think it wouldn't happen to you? And when he saw it happen, these kids read what's being said about them, but how they react to it is different. They hear it. They hear it. They read it. Intelligent Savage, salute. Let me ask y'all a question. Who's a better boxer and has a better record? Shakur or Edgar Berlanga? Shakur or Edgar Berlanga? Listen to the question. Who's a better boxer? Who has a better record? Well, it's obvious. It's Shakur, right? It's obviously Shakur. Who's getting more celebrated? Edgar. What's up with that? What's up with that? I'm just asking. Super Mac time, where you been? Salute. I'm just asking. What's up with that? Gone are the days you get celebrated for your accomplishments in the ring. If you have a core audience and you have some sort of swag that people like, then that's just what it is. Cool. But those are the type of fans those are the fanatics I don't deal with. Because I'm talking boxing. I don't know what they're talking about. So he has no situation awareness. I don't care if Bud said, yo, man, come over here and do this, do that, man. You should have did your own investigating, man. You should have investigated what was bad. Your skills pay the bills. Right? That's what Jamel Charlo said. You didn't have to go to Bob Arum, man. But you did. And then magically you start, Delano, what up? Then magically you start waving the Puerto Rican flag. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying not to be proud of who you are and not to honor your dad. I'm saying, number one, you should have been waving that in the Olympics. That's number one. Number two, obviously on Top Rank, they have a problem with black fighters. So I felt you was waving that flag out of convenience, and it was a marketing scheme. That's offensive. It's offensive to the Puerto Rican community, for those who are paying attention to you that are Puerto Rican. You tried to grab them, but it's too late. And it's offensive to the black community, 50%, what your mama is, because our support wasn't good enough. So what I did was, I just did what I always do. I just kept it boxing. Okay, you want to do all of that? I said what I said. Some cats tried to call me racist for it. Some cats tried to talk to me behind the scenes. They didn't understand what I was saying. I had to explain it. If he took his ass to the PBC, he wouldn't have been waving that flag. I promise you he wouldn't have. We wouldn't even have known. Somebody told him to do that. Because if he really was honoring his father, he'd have walked with that flag, for the American flag and the Boricua flag, because Boricuas are Americans. It wouldn't have been not a problem for him walking with it in the Olympics. You don't just up and decide to do that when you're a pro, man. Someone told that kid to do that shit. And I'm saying it was unnecessary. You are who you are. Your skills pay the bills. Right? Right. Because you was not being treated like a Latin fighter, Shakur. You still aren't. You tried, and it failed. When was the last time he wore the Puerto Rican flag, y'all? Did he wave it? Where? Did I miss it? Let me know. He may have. I missed it. Does he speak Spanish? Does he have a tattoo of his dad anywhere on his body? Anywhere? What? That's why I'm telling y'all it was a fucking play. It was a play. And now it's over. You running around with Jay Prince and everyone else. You get the top rank, your dad Puerto Rican. Okay. And you know what he found out? They still treating you like a nigga. Last time we saw Takeoff before he took off, you was at a dice game with that man before he was murdered. I think he was murdered that night, right? I'm looking at a video. I said, ain't that Shakur standing there? Oh my God. MJ, what up? Here, this nigga. Which side of you was at that dice game? The Puerto Rican side or the black side? Which side? What are you doing at a dice game, man? You see what I'm saying? So you uppercutting bitches at a gas station. You're getting arrested. You had dice games where rappers are turning up dead. What? Yeah, you need your dad in your life, kid. Where was your mama saying, yo, Shakur, what the fuck you doing? I know you had nothing to do with it, but the fact that you there, people are like, hey, man, he was there. You need to talk to him. You don't want to be around that stuff. Who are his OGs? Jay Prince? Did Jay Prince get on him? Did Jay Prince get on him? Pocket says Shakur hate fest. So here's what I'm gonna do for you. Goodbye. Old school AOL. Goodbye. But sit back and watch. You can't comment no more. This ain't a hate fest. This is an intervention. The hate fest is what's being. You see the people on the screen? You see me over there with George Kambosos Sr.? That's me on the right. Was that hate when I said he should have took the 25%? But I'm working my way up to that. I'm working my way up to that. Because what happens is, when you motherfuckers put a coat on me, I'll stretch it out. Oh, you hate Tank. Don't put that coat on me. Oh, no, you hate. Do not put that. Okay, fine. Because you know what these niggas will never say? Drew be lying on Tank. Nope, I don't. 24 minutes into the show. No, almost an hour into the show. Have I lied on Tank? Have I lied on Shakur yet? Have I lied on him yet? Have I lied on Shakur yet? I ain't got to. I'm telling the truth. That's well enough for me. I'm walking it through how he got here. He's here off of his choices. Has he made a ton of money? Yes. Is he a phenomenal boxer? Absolutely. Has he had the best decision making? He doesn't even think so. Because if he did, he'd still be with Jay Prince, would he not? He left Jay Prince and went to Lou DiBella? Why'd he do that? Why'd he do that? I'd ask Pocket, but I banned him already. Why'd he do that? What, Jay Prince wasn't good enough? So waving the Puerto Rican flag didn't have him generate compliance. They tried to push off the Valdez versus Shakur fight as Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Remember that? Guess what? I don't know one Mexican fan or one Puerto Rican fan that support their guy or girl to walk out in the middle of their fight and have ESPN show the audience leaving. I got on my channel, Pocket, and said that was fucked up. Why they do that to that kid? Shakur's a phenomenal talent. That kid is a phenomenal boxer. If y'all don't like what he does, you tell Edwin De Los Santos to do something better. That's De Los Santos' fault. They ain't Shakur's fault. How dare y'all do that to him? That's what I said. You know what I was met with? Nah, he's boring. You know what ESPN did? yo, he's boring. He gotta fight better, man. That's what I was met with. I said, oh, that's messed up. This kid's being punished for being a boxer. Wow. That's what I said. I ain't gotta like him playing on the Puerto Rican fans and him uppercutting the girl and him being one of the last people to see Takeoff alive, and I ain't gotta like none of that. But hey, Pocket, when they changed his mugshot on BoxRec, I was one of the people that wrote a few emails. Get this kid's mugshot off of BoxRec. What are you doing? And they changed it. Tay Jones in the building. Hello, world. Go subscribe to my brother Tay Jones. Pac-Man ATL right there. That's what I did for Shakur. Pocket, what did you do? Other than see his name pop up in the algorithm and then you come here and say, oh, it's a hate fest. Bakari, salute. Pocket, did you write an email when they changed his mugshot? They put in his mugshot on BoxRec. Did you do that? I did. You could have. I don't know if you did. Kamara, what up? Oh. I ain't got to lie on this kid. He's the one with this bipolar behavior, not us. But if you put the coat on me, I can say some shit now, but you'll never call me a liar. You will never call me a liar. Everything I said about ESPN and about how they treated Tank, am I lying about that? Absolutely not. Yeah, I'm speaking on it, Tay. I'm speaking on it. Shakur has no situation. Well, Tank is another nigga, but this little nigga right here has no situation awareness. He's in and out of the bedroom with these bitches and has no condom. You're going to strike out soon enough. He needs new pimps. Jay Prince, Bob Arum. Now he's up to Lou DiBella, right? You know where he can't go? He can't go to DHP. He done burnt that bridge. You done burnt that bridge. You burnt it. There you go. Because you're not smart enough to do shit yourself, right? Right. See what I mean? That's why him crying in the Olympics right here is so symbolic. Because as good as he is, I think he should be further along in his career. But he's been a victim of his own decisions. Never mind how I hate on him, because y'all gonna say I'm hating. Tim Bradley told him, Tank stops you. You don't believe me? Let's do this. Let's go to share screen. Where is that? Come on, I just saw it. Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? I'm just gonna play the audio. Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Y'all remember this? This is good old Tim Bradley talking about, this was 9 months ago. This is Tim Bradley. Now peep this. Name of this video is Tim Bradley claps back at Shakur. He says, Tank gonna stop you. Now listen to this.
I think it's the fight of the night anyway.
Now, I don't really want to go into the whole Shakur boring kind of talk, because I know that we kind of have that conversation a lot. But a little bit like how you mentioned about Tevin, on how he's very cerebral and has all these technical abilities to dominate a guy, but he was able to get a couple like knockouts. in his last couple fights, lower level competition. When it comes to Shakur in the sense, I know that a lot of people have given him a lot of praise, but kind of a little criticism on like the sense of his reluctance to kind of throw. As a fighter, I know that fight fans can be critical and fighters are supposed to kind of focus on the fight regardless, but there's also that balance of pleasing the fans, right? As a fighter yourself, I know that one of my favorite interviews I've done with you was you were speaking about when you fought Ruslan, where you kind of had that balance where you fought Marquez, you boxed him and did those things. But in the Ruslan fight, even though you felt that some of the fans praised you, there's repercussions from that fight. So as like Shakur, where do you draw a line, I guess, as a fighter when they take criticism or even fair criticism, I like to say, from like fighters like you and other people?
Well, I just think that Shakur is not. I think it's what we're seeing right now is not the finished product. I think he still has development to do, still some learning to do, and I think he has the right people around him to elevate that. It's just I just wonder, can he do it mentally? Is he willing?
He's questioning Shakur's mental. He's questioning Shakur's mental. Okay? And I'm glad this dude brought up the Ruslan fight as opposed to the Marquez fight, because I said Tim Bradley versus Marquez, that's Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley versus Ruslan, he was clearly bothered by the bullshit outside the ring, which shows that he wasn't mentally strong. You beat Manny and you allowed his fans to bother you. Tim, you did that. He had no business fighting Ruslan Provodnikov the way he did. If y'all never saw that fight, go watch it. That was ridiculous. I'm like, what is he doing? Why is he standing there like that? It was stupid. And after that fight, he was talking funny for like 6 months. Those are his words, not mine. He got in the ring with Marquez and fought a completely different fight. That was Tim Bradley. But he admitted he was bothered going into the damn Ruslan Provodnikov fight because of the Manny Pacquiao situation. Ridiculous. So I bet he understands about what it is to be mentally ready for anything. He understands because he was mentally messed up. He was mentally goofed up for that. Over that. I have a problem with fighters that behave that way in their career, trying to talk about other fighters today and what they feel it is. Honestly speaking, I haven't seen Shakur mentally bothered inside of a boxing match. I haven't seen it. Tim Bradley, I've seen it. So how dare you make that assessment? It's like Dan Raphael talking about a fighter, and he writes in this article, the fighter showed up out of shape. Dude, you could skip all of that out of shape shit. Talk about everything else, but that out of shape, dogs, hot dogs. Stop it, man. It's ridiculous. But let's go back to Tim. Let's see what Tim had to say.
Willing to engage a little bit more? Is he willing to take a little bit more chances? Now that all boils down to him. But I think he knows what he needs to do. I think his people know what he needs to do to be a little bit more entertaining. But, I want to talk about, Shakur. And I know he said some things about me, in the media. And it is what it is, man. I don't take anything to heart. I know the kid, he respects me at the end of the day. And he knows that I know boxing. So, let's talk about the plus minus, man. Let's talk about the fact that how extremely hard it is to hit this guy, man. That's brilliant, bro. Like, that is brilliant, whether you look at it or not, whether you like it or not. Where he can hit you and you can't hit him, and he's directly in front of you. That's something to be said. That's something to talk about. But as far as Shakur and where he goes from here, I should be curious to see. Be curious to see where he's going to end up. I'm hearing Eddie Hearns. I'm hearing
Mayweather Promotions.
Mayweather Promotions. Wherever he ends up, I think he'll be fine.
Hearing Eddie Hearn, Mayweather Promotions, blah, 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 blah. He's with Lou DiBella. Didn't see that coming.
One thing you got to notice is that, we're talking about nobody wants to see him, but the kid has the highest ratings at ESPN out of any fighter. So
has the highest ratings at ESPN. Meanwhile, what did they do? They showed people walking out of his fight. Okay? You understand? Now, did I do that shit? No. They did this. These are these dudes double talking. Highest rated fights on ESPN. Meanwhile, they're showing people walk out on his ass. But I'm the problem to that clown that I just blocked. I'm the problem. They did this, not me. I'm talking about it. If anything, I'm talking this stupid ass nigga up. Let's go back to Tim.
Rather, we say that nobody wants to see him, but everybody is have their eyes on him. They're fascinated with him, and they want to see what everybody's talking about, and I think even in this next fight, I think people will watch him fight. People will watch just to criticize, and I think this new way of Shakur and lashing out and going at the media, people in the media, from celebrities on, he's trying to create this villain role now, and he's trying to use it as not only fuel but also to get more eyeballs watching him, create more hate, and put himself in a situation to where many people believe he'll lose, and then he ends up winning, and he'll look like, he'll look like the hero. He'll look like the hero. Like it's just always been his plan, to create this narrative and
blah blah blah.
And just so if Tank was to get in the ring and fight him, man, I mean, that's validation right there, man. Because everybody know what Tank brings. Tank right now, if you put a poll up, he's the number one guy at 135 according to the world, according to the boxing world, according to the people. He's the number one guy. Shakur comes in probably second. So if he beats Tank, he's the man. He's the man. And maybe this is all part of his plan at the end of the day. But people saying, "Oh man, you're flip-flopping. Let me just talk about that. So I look at fighter styles and what they bring. I study film. I see what effects. That.
Salute to Greg McCall. And that Cash App, much love, brother. He says for the cook this morning, big homie. Salute to you, good brother. Thank you so much. Salute to Dapper Dons and that Cash App. The brother, he says in Belgium, watching you cook. Keep educating, Drew, man. I'm on the job, man. Salute to you and be safe out there, brother. Salute to you, man. Much love and appreciation. Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
A guy like Shakur can give Tank. Whether you say Tank loses the first 4 rounds purposely or not, he can be outboxed. That's just it. Okay? Yeah. But going back to each guy's performances, what Tank has done recently, what Shakur has done recently in his last 2 fights, lackluster performances. You gotta look at those. You gotta look at the 2. Now you can look at the styles. Yeah, Shakur's style can.
All right, so he flip-flopping, but he said Tank gonna stop him. His words, not mine. His words, not mine. He said Tank stops you. Right? But then in the article that I just read, it was written, when was this? Oh man, this was a couple of months ago. In reference to Shakur, he says he should ignore the criticism he receives for being defensive, pure boxer, that avoids getting hit in his fights. Bradley states that Shakur 23 wins, no losses, 11 knockouts, should continue to fight the way he does, show greatness, and pick up your check and go home. What? So 1 minute it's be more exciting, but 2 months ago it's pick up your check and go home. And I just know he had a lot to say about Devin's performance the other week. See what I mean? You see what I mean? These are the professionals, guys. So he's saying, get your check and go home. Who got more knockouts, Devin or Shakur? That's a rhetorical question. I ain't really mean for y'all to answer that, really. I mean, we all know the answer. What the fuck? Exactly, G. McCall. Devin got to grow some balls, though, right? After he done chased all these dudes around 135 and got 4 belts and everybody ducked him. This dude crying on the screen ducked him on the way out. And speaking of which, you see me there with George Kambosos Sr.? Y'all know I did that on purpose, right? I'm going to put up the short. Because he said it. I went to him, what was that? Thursday or Wednesday? Last week. And I told him on the live stream, I said, hey, man, that was funny. When, you told him, take the 25%. He said, yeah, you should have taken the 25%. He should have. So I said, hey, man, say it for the camera. He said, you should have taken the 25%. Yup. Take 25%. Why didn't he take the 25%? You know what he said? He said, I know my worth. You know your worth? That was before you got rid of Jay Prince. You know your worth? Do you? Yeah, Shakur, I agree with you. You're worth so much more, young brother. You're just not smart enough to promote yourself. Now, had you hung around DHP, you could have learned how to do that. Jay Prince ain't tell you how to run your own business? You know why? Because you're minding everyone else's business. You're at dice games where rappers ended up dead. You're punching bitches in the face at gas stations. You're on Twitter going back and forth with fans who don't know any better. You decided to go to Top Rank, who, although you said, yo, I'm 50% Latin, they still sold people leaving your fight. And then they lied on you. They said you're boring. I love watching you work, Shakur. They said you're boring. Meanwhile, when you fought on ESPN, it was highly rated. But you're boring? Now, why the hell I gotta say that? And I'm still called a hater. How? Why? 1 minute Tim says Tank gonna stop you. Now he's saying, fuck that, get your money and go home, young king. Then tells Devin he need to grow some balls. And he's boring. I mean, what are we talking about here? Right. He said, I'm not going to take the 25% because I know my worth. Motherfucker. That was your worth, stupid. How many times was he on pay-per-view? I'll wait. What was he getting? Was he not getting his highest paycheck? I'll wait. That was going to be his first time on pay-per-view. Let's run it down. First time on pay-per-view, his highest payday, he was going to get a shot at 4 belts, undisputed with 1 fight. Right? And Devin was going to be drained. Everything was in his favor. The 25% was what it was supposed to be. Because of everything that came with it. But you know your worth, and you know what happened? You know your worth, but you dummy. You declined the undisputed fight with Devin. You fought Edwin De Los Santos, and they shit on you. And that's the fight where they showed people leaving the arena. That fight. That fight. And did you make the same amount of money with Edwin De Los Santos that you would have made with Devin? And you know you would have got a 2-fight deal out of Devin. If you won, that's the rematch. And that was a winnable fight because why? Devin would be drained. Remember, 78, salute. The general was in the building. Dirt Game boss, salute. Y'all remember? He's gonna be drained. He said it out loud. But this is how he treats his friends. Do I have to go down to Jamel Herring Road? Do I have to go there? Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what he did to his brother Jamel? It's only business. This nigga went to the WBO and protect. Man, I ain't even gonna go there, man. He shit on his boy. But Devin, who's his boy, was giving him all of that, and he still said no. This speaks to the character or lack thereof of Shakur. And you still have not heard me get on my platform and say, I hope he fails. You never heard me say that. You never heard me say that. Never heard me say that. I sit back and I watch this thing. It's 10:48 in the morning on the East Coast. Have I lied on him? Am I pointing out what happened? I'm pointing out what the media did to him, the choices that he made. The title of this live is Shakur Stevenson has no situation awareness. Problem is, you kids don't even know what that is. I'll read it again. Situational awareness is the ability to be aware of and understand your surroundings, including potential hazards and threats. Why did he go to Top Rank? You knew enough not to go to TMT with Floyd. Okay, but you went to Top Rank? Why? Wait a minute. Devin was going to give you a shot at Undisputed with your highest payday? Who told you to tell him that you know your worth? Turned right around and fought Edwin De Los Santos, didn't make as much money, and it was a stinker. And you won, and they cut you down. Whereas if you fought Devin, even if you lost, they'd have found the way to blame Devin. Because that's just what they do. But Devin's built for that. You're not. You're not. You out here rooting for Ryan Garcia. I'm going to read to you what Ryan Garcia said about you. Bleach Report. This is a quote. Ryan Garcia blasts arrogant Shakur Stevenson. Calls boxer boring as shit. I'm going to read the direct quote. Ryan Garcia and Shakur Stevenson engaged in a war of words on social media after Garcia called the new WBC lightweight champion arrogant. Stop right there. Let me talk to the brothers of a certain age. Is that not a code word used by white people when they talk about us when we're confident? I just had a white Australian male on here talking about Deontay Wilder just last week. Did y'all hear what he said about him? I read it to you. And I asked him, I quoted his own words. He said he's a king. He refers to himself as a king, and he says he's anointed by God. But he lost 4 of his last 5 He lost 4 of his last 5 fights. And I said, hold on, man. That doesn't mean you're not anointed. What's the problem with a man saying he's anointed by God? What's the problem with that? And he got stuck. His connection was bad, but it wasn't that bad. And I asked him, did your mother or father not tell you that you was destined for greatness? If they didn't, they failed you. What's the problem with a man saying he's anointed by God? What's the problem with that? Does Tyson Fury not call himself the Gypsy King? What's the problem with Deontay calling himself a king? What, you have to go undefeated in the sport of boxing to be a king? We call Muhammad Ali the GOAT. He has several losses. And about 2 possibles. Ask Ken Norton Sr. Well, you can't ask him. He's passed on. But you look at those fights, you're like, I don't know. I don't know. They gave it to the GOAT, but I don't know. But he's the GOAT. Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, drug addict, cheater, friends with the cartel leader that's still outside. Boss, drug addict, cheater, friends with an Irish cartel leader. But he's the Gypsy King. Nobody questions it. ESPN doesn't even talk about that. But let Deontay Wilder walk to the ring with a king on his with a crown on his head. What's he wearing that for? And they're gonna talk about everything negative. Right? Is Tyson Fury allowed on American soil? No. None of the assholes right in America don't even know that. You see what I mean? I asked him, do you go to other posts and say, hey man, y'all need to tone it down with this Tyson Fury stuff? He looked like shit on Riyadh season. I thought he lost to Ngannou. He lost to Usyk twice. He's not a king. Are you over there doing that? The OG Mr. Mons, salute to you, brother. Much love. The real OG. And no, he's on my live stuttering. You see what I mean? And I still won't call that man a racist. But it is true that people could be raised in a system of racism and not even know why they think a certain way. Hence the term, Shakur is arrogant, as per Ryan Garcia, who exists in a system of white supremacy. Arrogant? I've heard white people in the media watch a rap video and say, yeah, you know, I really don't like. Bill Maher was asked, I forget I don't know if it was on his show or he was on a panel somewhere. Yeah, I don't like these rap songs. I don't like the rappers. You know, watch the videos. I mean, the arrogance. And I was like, whoa, motherfucker. You don't like the arrogance, but he was dating a female rapper. Look it up. I ain't gonna tell y'all who. You don't like the arrogance, but you was plowing some black pussy. Yes, you was. Yes, you was. On commentary, salute. Lance, what up? Yes, you was, Bill. Yes, you was. You don't like the arrogance? Why? I don't watch none of these rap videos today. But if I sat through one, the first thing I don't come to mind. I don't say, hey man, I don't like his arrogance. I don't care. I know what this is. They're supposed to get on there and flash it like, I got this, I got that. That's a part of their shtick, whatever. Why don't you like the arrogance? You don't like that these young men are talking themselves up? And back then, this was the 90s, y'all, early 2000s, 90s. He was talking about East Coast rappers. He was talking about Jay-Z. He was talking about Nas and Busta. My era. He was talking about them. I'm like, what the fuck is his problem? Wait a minute, he's dating one of these bitches. What are you talking about? Man, if he don't stop, stop. That's just as bad as an ignorant black person saying, I don't like these white folks. They get up there with their suits and ties. Man, shut up. You should be in a suit and tie, dummy. Sid Mark, Geo James, Del Riff, salute. It's all backwards. It's all backwards. So Ryan Garcia can refer to him as arrogant. Ryan Garcia can say, I don't have to say what he said. I'll just show you. Ryan Garcia could say this. Okay? Right? But meanwhile, the other week, this.
They're trying to deny Shakur and Zay Quinn getting into the event.
I'm still trying to make it. Fuck that shit, right?
Right. Let's do shit. Keep your hands up. Stay calm and relax. Relax, Ryan. Relax, Ryan. Good job, baby. Inteligente. The double on that booty.
Derek, can you talk to us just about the fight, what you think? What you think about the fight, the outcome, Ryan's performance?
Yep. There you go. But, you know, I can show y'all that and y'all call me a hater, right? No situation awareness. What the fuck you ain't even rooting for Ryan Garcia for, man? First of all, they even want to let your ass in. He almost ain't get in. They left his ass at the gate. I'm Shakur. But somebody, he might have saw Mike or B-Hop or Oscar like, yo, they said let him in. So he got in. Now you in there rooting for Ryan, who said all of that. F niggers and Muslims. You're not Muslim and, yeah, you're only 50% nigger, right? So you can ignore that. Right? Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me show you some more stuff. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's see if I can upload that. Upload that. Oh, that's too much. All right. Do one at a time. This is what he said. Okay, I must admit, when I'm wrong, really shocked me tonight. Yeah. That's what he said. And then who said this? Got another slide for y'all. Stephen Edwards. Breadman. Too many media people defend that PD result by saying Haney didn't know how to defend the left hook. In a game of inches, that take was never okay. Breadman for president.
Whoa!
What? Breadman for president. Breadman for president. How about that? Yeah, Copper, I read when you say that, yep. Breadman for president. I said it before, I'm saying it right now. Breadman for president. See, you casuals, y'all don't even know who the fuck Breadman is. And that's okay. That's okay. Breadman for president. But let's see what else was up here. Let's see what else he had here. Oh! Look at this. He picked Rolly to beat Ryan. Ain't that funny? Ain't that... The Desert Storm. Right? Lou DiBella. Here's the lesson from tonight's #boxing main event. Peds matter. Big time. You know Lou DiBella, Shakur, who you went to? Oh my What? My God. My God. Hey, Shakur, was you one of those I can't unsee the left hook ass niggas? Was you one of those? Was you one of those? Right? Right. Right, Shakur. You got one more here. Let's see. But I told Shakur before the fight that Rolly was gonna win. But I'm showing you all of this stuff, but I had one nigga come in here talking about this is Shakur hate. Can I ask my audience right now, have I lied on Shakur at all during this whole program? Have I lied on him? You gonna call Bud a hater? Lou DiBella? Breadman? Tim Bradley? I know Ryan, because the same nigga that came in here is probably the same kind of nigga that said, I can't unsee that left hook. You one of those. You can't unsee the left hook, right? Right. I can't unsee that second round. I can't unsee no second. When Ryan gets dumped on his head, it's usually in the second round. So when y'all making a bet against Ryan, if they're in the betting pool, if they say, yo, call a knockdown in the fight, always pick the second round. Just look it up. Ryan down in the second. Ryan down in the second. He fought Tank, down in the second. Fought Rolly, down in the second. Luke Campbell, down in the second. See what I mean? Ain't nobody talking about he need to run it back with Rolly. They're not even talking about him running it back with Tank. That was a big conversation. They don't want him running it back with Devin. You remember when Ryan said no rematch? He said that. Devin said, what the fuck you talking about? I absolutely want the rematch. He said that. Then we get a lawsuit and everything else, and all of a sudden Devin's the bad guy. This kid has no situation awareness. That 25% with George Sr. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that. I got y'all right now. Oh, here it is. Got y'all right now. I got y'all right now. Y'all remember this? Tell me you remember this. Here we go.
You know what? I'll tell you what.
Tell him stay focused.
Take 25%. Take 25% and fight Devin.
Uh-oh.
Take 25%.
Teach some defense.
Take 25%.
Teach some defense. Whoa! What the
Now the 86 in that super chat. Much love, brother. He says salute Drew and salute to the mighty LDBC. Salute to you, good brother, man. Much love. Thank you so much. Take 25%. And with that, George Sr. became legendary. Because you know what? He's like, man, get the fuck out my son's face. Now, let me ask y'all a question. This is going to hurt. And to the Tank fan now, I mean the Tank, the goddamn, to the Shakur fan that was in here. All right, I know you're listening, but I want you to think about something. This is going to hurt a lot. Who has a better resume right now? Shakur or George Kambosos? I'll wait. I'll wait.
Bukaki.
I'll wait. Who has a better resume? George Kambosos or Shakur? Now watch this. I'm going to be real petty right now. Who sells more seats? George Kambosos or Shakur? Uh-oh. Y'all like that, right? Y'all like that, right? George got a whole country behind him. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Magically, y'all don't like that. Shogun, what up? Magically. Y'all like that now, right? Y'all don't like the country shit? Y'all don't like that? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Pat says Kambosos sells more in Australia. That's true. But I just saw George the other week. You wanna know what's crazy? He's fighting Africa. No, I don't mean the continent of Africa. He's fighting Richardson Hitchens. Guess where? Madison Square Garden. And I think that's going to be a sleeper fight. I think Africa got to get him early in the fight and show him that this is his time, because George has a lot of experience, and the longer that fight goes, I think the worse it'll be. I think the worse it'll be for Africa, unless he has a level that he hasn't shown us yet. But we're gonna see. I think that's gonna be a great fight. But as it stands right now, George got who on his resume? Devin twice, lost, but he got him there twice. He got Loma, that people would hold to a high standard. He got a win against Teofimo Lopez, and mind you, he beat Mickey Bay, Teofimo Lopez, and now he's fighting Richardson Hitchens, all in New York. He's a road warrior. Now, I'm the hater, right? This dude that was in here earlier called me the hater. But let's read what Passionation said. Look what he says. Look. Shakur's a boring fighter, and he's highly overpaid. Now, I don't remember the dude's name that I blocked earlier, but take it up with him. I'm not speaking up for Shakur anymore. Like I'm not. My opinion is my opinion. But this is the general situation with him. This is what people are saying. I'm just saying why they're saying that, because I don't say this. In other words, I don't even remember the dude's name that I booted out here early in the show. Pray for Creasy. Salute, bro. Listen, this, I never said he was overpaid. I don't know what he makes. Y'all know I don't do numbers over here. I never said that Shakur was boring. I never said that. What I did say this morning is that Shakur has no situation awareness, because this is what's being said. He's boring. This is what's being said. He's overpaid. You never heard Drew Titan say that about him. I look at what he says and ask, hey, Shakur, what the fuck you doing? With all that's being said about you, why'd you treat Devin like that? Why'd you treat Jamel Herring like that? Why are you supporting Ryan Garcia? What is wrong with you? You see? You see? But a dude that doesn't know my channel just sees his name, see his favorite fighter's name, and then comes here and then thinks this is a hate fest? I'm on here talking about, I don't like Shakur and his spaced out teeth and his curly hair and he's light skinned and he says he's half Puerto Rican and I don't like the Puerto Rican. I'm not on here like that. Everything I say has substance. Brown on Boxer, salute. It has substance. I explain it in detail. I never said he was overpaid. I never said he was boring. I did say he should have taken the 25% because everything against Devin was in his favor. I did not like that fight for Devin at 135. That was a winnable fight for Shakur. I didn't like it, but Devin's a warrior. That's what he does. Hey, look. It's not me. Look. But what I agree with what Past Nation said right here. Hey, man. Slime, what up? Oh, Slim. Yo, Slime, I'm sorry. What up, bro? Yep. You waved the Latin flag, a Latin flag. I don't see them supporting you in abundance. I asked the question, when they put your mugshot on BoxRec, how many of them got it changed? Does he even know about that? So I guess black supports are not good enough. And it's really not good enough. You in there rooting for a goddamn racist? Y'all remember the look he gave Devin after he beat Loma? Y'all remember what he said? I think Loma won the fight. Then the next day, he's like, I thought it was a draw. I say, man, you know what? F this kid, man. He's gone. I'm not trying to raise your kids no more. I'm not trying to speak logic to your kids no more. Yo, if your kids is running around talking this shit, that's your business. That's your failure as a parent. And they've grown into young adults and they're raising their kids out of wedlock, by the way. Out of wedlock. That's a testament to who you are as a parent and who they are. So now you're a 40-year-old grandparent, right? You're not married. He's not married. And everything is spun out of control and all this dysfunction becomes normalized. Y'all don't understand. That's what I'm saying. It gets deeper than boxing. The motherfuckers that rock with dudes like this, you see, I could enjoy a fight. But when you see how these guys behave outside of the ring, it's a testament to their character, and it's a testament for you when you root for them unconditionally. I kept it 100% honest with Mike Tyson. I'm like, man, at that time, brilliant fighter, but there's a lot of street shit that I witnessed with my own two eyes. That was just ridiculous. He could have did without that. Could have did without that. Could have did without that. Jared Anderson. The fuck are you doing getting into high-speed chases with the police? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? You think I want these young cats to fail? No. Boxing is hard enough as it is. But you chose to do this. All I'm asking is for you to fight your contemporaries, do the best you can, and hopefully you make millions of dollars so when you hang it up, whenever you choose, you can leave the game and take care of yourself and your family. That's it. Why am I wrong for wanting that? Why am I wrong for asking why do these blackies support Ryan Garcia? What the fuck was that? What is that? What is that? Hold on. He said what he said. He never apologized. What he did say was, oh, I was high. And y'all niggas just let that go. You was high? That's your excuse? Cut the check to the George Floyd family. All of that he said, and this motherfucker's in there rooting for Ryan, man. There's no code. These young niggas, I'm telling you, these young niggas don't have no code. They have no knowledge of self. Like the OG Mr. Mont says, they have no connection to their ancestors. I just had a nigga on my brother Thomas on his panel the other day said none of that shit matters to him. I'm not gonna stay on the panel and go back and forth with that nigga. He's already lost. 27 years old. I'm old enough to be his father. I'm not going back and forth with that nigga. I let him go. His parents failed him, and I'm not gonna raise him. I said, well, you go ahead. What did Stormy say? If you see two people arguing in the street, you don't know who's the fool. All of these fights that you see breaking out on Instagram, people pulling up cameras and you don't know who's the fool. You don't know who started it. But I guarantee you, one of those parties could have just got up and said, you know what, you got it, and just walked off and had a good day. I done walked away from so much bullshit in my life because if I stopped and did what I wanted to do, I'd be in prison. I'm like, this nigga is all of 4'11". He's drunk as hell. He's bouncing around in the street and like literally like, what? I'm like, oh my God, this is lunch right here. I will ball this nigga up and put him on my keychain. But you know what? I like my freedom. It's 80 degrees outside. My wife at home. I'm about to plow her tonight. I'm supposed to throw it all away by folding this dude because my cheesemo's in the way. Get the fuck out of here. He's drunk and it's 12 noon. He has no life. He has no wife. And if he does, he out here doing what? Fucking with me? He's suicidal. Well, you might as well go walk in front of a car in fast traffic. You got it, buddy. And I'm off. That's called being a fucking adult. I show the utmost self-control. I'm human. I'm flawed like everybody else. I'm not perfect. But I lead by example. When I talk about things like this, only people that give me resistance are the niggas and the grown adolescents that don't stand on nothing. They're looking for clicks and views and they're failures in life. They're doing it for a paycheck. Exactly, Pat. Bring back adult culture. Now, there was at no time in this broadcast that I blindly hated on Shakur. This was all truth. What I'm making you aware of is this kid has no situation awareness at all. He went to Top Rank. He chooses to fight how he fights, and it's brilliant. To me, it's brilliant. But to other people, it's boring. I can't help that. I'm not going to critique his fighting style until someone beats him. I'm not going to critique his pockets because he has more money than I do. And I'm not broke. I'm not. But as big of an asshole as he is, did I one time come on here and say, I hope he's broke when this shit is over? No. For what? He's a father. He's taking care of his family. Wherever he was in New Jersey, he got out of it. Why would I want that for him? How he moves and how he treats his people around him, he got to live with that. And I know people saying, oh, well, he's living with it. Okay. You'd be amazed what a man thinks of when there's no lights on in his house and he has a moment to himself and there's no internet, there's nothing. He's just sitting there and things start hitting him in the head. A lot goes on in your brain. You start thinking about shit you could have did different. The relationships he's burned. Nah, bro. You fired Jay Prince. I don't know what that was about. With Lou DiBella, you left Top Rank. You already saw what Bob did to you on the way out. The Bob father, right? Now you're over here with Turkey Al Sheik. I don't know how long this relationship is going to last. I don't know how long Turkey's going to be throwing around money and getting us these fights. It could end tomorrow. I don't know. But Tim Bradley represents, on the left side of the screen, he represents what everyone's saying about you. It's a love-hate. You're a brilliant boxer, but you're boring, kid. And by the way, Tank, and I got this guy stop you, that guy stop you, this guy beats you, but we got to see it first. Ryan Garcia is a person that you have unconditional love for, and you don't even know why you love on the kid. But I bet you if you bring this to him, he just says, I don't think about that. I just keep it boxing. Stupid motherfucker. Your mother ain't teach you better? I'm not even asking about your dad. Your black mother didn't teach you any better? Your black mother didn't teach you any better? This dude called you arrogant. That's fancy word for nigga, stupid. But you ain't all nigga. Oh, I get it. What me and George Kambosos Sr. represent is the I told you so, whether it's a black American or a white Australian. Logic is logic. You should have took the 25%, you stupid ass. You could have beat Devin. That was a 50-50 fight. Oh, Gerald Kelly, don't worry about that. I'm going to talk about that coon tomorrow. He gets a whole show. I was just going to do a video for him. No, he's getting 2 hours. Because I'm sick of that nigga. I'm sick of him. You want to talk about no situation awareness? Oh, my God. My God. So you have what they say in Tim Bradley to what you ignore in Ryan Garcia. And then you got logic on the right-hand side of the screen. Whether it's a black American or a white Australian. Both of us said you should have took 25% because it was beneficial to you. What the fuck was you doing in George Kambosos' face? Watch this, y'all. You ready? You ready? You ready for this? What has Shakur done to deserve a fight against George Kambosos?
Whoa! What the
Go! Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down. Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down. Yeah, let's play that game. Because once it comes to others, they start doing that shit when the black fighters are, what has he done? What has he done? What has he done? What did he do? What did he do to deserve it? He deserve that. Yeah, you don't deserve it. Well, you deserve it. Yeah. What has he done? Yeah, because I'm looking at George Kambosos' resume. That man's unified champion. He was not undisputed. They said it twice the other week, and I didn't want to make a stink about it. I said, okay, all right, whatever. What has he done? You showed up to the fight after he beat Maxie Hughes to talk some shit. Nobody was listening to you. And George Sr. said, wait a minute. You were offered 25% to fight the guy that we fought twice. Why the fuck are you in our face? Y'all hear what I said? Eric Jordan, salute. Y'all hear what I said? I'll say it again. The guy that we fought twice offered you 25%. Why are you in our face? Was he not trying to fight Devin Haney's leftovers? What? Okay. I think I've made my point. Now, was this hate, or did I just ask a logical question? Anybody think of that? Why are you in George Kambosos' face? They lost to Devin twice. But at least, listen, at least we could say George fought Loma. At least we could say he fought Devin twice. At least we could say he fought Teofimo. At least we could say that. Devin beat the man twice. This motherfucker's in George's face. For what? When Devin offered you 25%. Why are you over there? Trying to fight Devin's leftovers. Now, this is the first time you ever heard me say that. Nobody said that I know of. Nobody. If y'all heard it from somewhere else, let me know. Drop the name. But nobody said he's trying to fight Devin's leftovers, right? But I could say motherfuckers hating on Devin. They would say, oh, well, no, we're not. Has anyone ever said that? I said that the day I made that video. I said, why the fuck is he in his face? Devin done beat this man twice. Why is he trying to fight? Isn't it a big deal when you're trying to fight a man's leftovers? Isn't that a big deal? I thought it was a big deal. Oh, I'm sorry. It depends on who the fighter is. This is what I'm saying. I never said that, but it's the truth. And here we are damn near a year, some change later. Now I'm saying it out loud. You know why I didn't say it out loud? Because I know if I say something like that, somebody will use that and start dragging Shakur. You see, sometimes you got to let shit marinate. You got to let it just dry out. You got to let it air out. You got to let it soak. Now, that was obvious, but nobody said anything, and it proved two things. Number one, Shakur don't want to fight Devin. Number two, the public hates Devin because they didn't even consider George Kambosos a Devin Haney leftover. They didn't even consider that because it's Devin. But I sat right here all this time and I say, no one's going to say it, are they? Okay, fine. I'll put that in the chamber and I'll just wait on it. And I waited, 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 and I waited. No one said anything. This is probably the first time y'all heard it, looked at it like that. Yeah. He was trying to fight his leftovers. Nobody said anything. Old media, new media, TV media, nobody said anything. But George Sr. said, take 25%. Why the fuck are you in our face? We fought the kid 2 times. Exactly, Jackie. Shakur thinks George was easy food. He thought that. But here's the question is, why are you in George's face? He lost to Devin twice. He fought Maxie Hughes. It was a tough fight. He was just getting back into the saddle. Why are you over there when you had a 25% deal with all the rewards in your favor? Everything was in your favor. From Devin. Drained. Highest payday. Pay-per-view. And you over there in George Kambosos' face for what? For what? He wanted the what? Easy route.
What are you, a homo?
I think so. I think so. This nigga got sunned by Lomachenko. Yeah, we gonna fight. He says, oh, we go outside right now. Shout out to Ukraine. They fight you outside right now. I fight you right now. In the ring, in the ring. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here. Stop hoeing. You're not even the rock star that you think you are. I never said you was a terrible fighter. If you had any situation awareness, you'd be ahead of the game. You'd have took the Devin fight. Had you beat him, you'd have earned the Loma fight. Maybe Loma would have dumped you. You beat Devin in one fight and take those 4 belts. What is Tank gonna say to you? That's next up. Instead, Devin leaves. You get a belt, Tank gets a belt, and now you and Tank are just looking at each other. You are not the rock star that you think you are, nigga. No situation awareness. He's flying blind. So I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention, and y'all need to also. Don't miss tomorrow's live, man. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, Super Chat. Go subscribe to the Painful Excellence Podcast. That's my other YouTube channel. Go subscribe to my Patreon. I'm dropping content. It's been a while. I have videos lined up, but I'm a full-time father, full-time husband. I have a full-time life past this, but I appreciate y'all support. I got some fire content. In the meantime, if you haven't seen it, I got content up there right now. But salute to y'all, man. Much love and appreciation to everybody that supports. The general should be on. And Lord have mercy, man. Y'all stay blessed, man. I'll catch you on the video. Don't miss Nerds on Culture, Stormy B Man's channel tonight. Do not miss it. We're gonna nerd out, man. We talking to MCU, man. Salute to y'all, man. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
All my troubles come more nigga. Yeah, it makes me mad. Why you niggas are so against somebody for you?
How much longer do you think your mouth
Makes
is gonna
me
be
so
able to carry?
mad. Long enough to beat your ass if you fuck up. That's right. You might not get out of the stadium tonight. You gotta be cool because you've been watched.